You are live. Here we go. What's
Hey
up?
there. What's
What's
up,
up, live?
Dr.
What's up,
Love?
live?
What's
Exactly. Let
up?
me let me click on Doug. Let me get Doug on up in here. Let me see how we do this. Bring this up. Here we go. Yeah, yeah. We are live. We are live. Hey, hey. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, I want to welcome y'all to a beautiful, beautiful Friday of the Doctor of Love Friday. I am here in New York right now. I'm at my daughter's graduation. She has graduated from,
Congratulations.
thank you, thank
Congratulations.
you. She graduated from NYU. And so I'm a proud papa. I'm working on my son because she has a twin. You know how us boys are a little bit behind y'all, but hey, we do what we can do. We try to
we
catch up.
we just we just as men have a lot more on our plate to deal
Exactly,
with.
exactly,
Is that what it is?
exactly. That's all it is
Doug.
right now. That's
Well,
all it
I'm
is.
I'm I'm here. I'm here in beautiful San Diego. Ain't that something?
Me too.
And what's crazy is
See my
you in
background.
San Diego, and I left San
Yeah.
Diego to be in New York. That's crazy, man.
Right. Right.
Come on. Hey, Linda, how you doing? You on mute? I can't hear you. We can't hear you. And don't click the red wrong button. We can't hear you. Go ahead. You're on mute. Okay. Toy, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay,
Toy. Oh, you're off. We can hear you now. Go
you can
ahead,
hear
Toy.
me now. Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Toy, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Toy Moore, author, celebrity author, toymore.com. I'm a writer, um, mother, and do a whole lot of stuff. Uh, yeah, so just sitting out here chilling in San Diego over at the water. Came over this way and figured I'd come and enjoy the view. So
Yeah. Is the sun setting now or what?
yeah, it is. It is a little bit. You can see it a little bit in my background.
Right, right. Let me see what you got on. You look like you flying somewhere. You look like you're a flight attendant right now.
I came from work,
Oh, okay. Okay.
so I
Okay. I,
got
I
my
ain't mad at you. Hey, can
work
you tell us
stuff.
the books you've written so far?
Yeah, I have about 13 books.
13 books.
My books go anywhere from domestic violence, which was my first one. I have a self-publishing book. I have a couple of relationship books, a couple of books that deal with sex, questions I've asked. I co-wrote a book with James Cannon, who is Nick Cannon's father. I wrote a book on the life and times of Richard Street, who was one of the former Temptations. He talks about his life being a temptation and a lot of the stuff that people don't know. So, yeah, all kind of different areas that I've covered in my book writing. I help people publish books. I've self-published all of mine and promote them, do all of it.
That's what's up. That's what I'm talking about. And I have the beautiful my co-host Linda Streeter. Go ahead and introduce yourself and what you do.
Hi there. Good evening, everybody. Hi, Toy. Hi, Doug. I'm
Hey.
Linda Streeter, and I am what? Therapist, counselor, mediator. I do lots of conflict resolution, and I'm an author as well. And another great thing, I have my new book I talked about. You can't see it because of the light,
We
because I've done so much conflict resolution. This one is called The Power of Conflict. Now that's a better view,
That's a
right?
better view. Yeah, we can see it right
Yeah,
there.
that's my new book. I just got it yesterday. I just got copies of it yesterday, and
What?
of course, I've already
Congratulations.
written one book on relationships, and the other one, and the second one, of course, is on conflict resolution.
All
It's
right.
about saving relationships, even though there may be differences. There are ways to save our relationships. We don't have to have war or split. We can have conversation. So, along with that, of course, I do the health and wellness coaching as well, behavior coaching, relationship coaching, and I do workshop seminars all over.
So if we have any questions, we can call you about
You
relationships and
probably
love.
can.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, before we get started, I want to um we have people following right now. If you guys can get your questions in right now, we will answer them for you. This is the Doctor of Love Friday. So get your questions in, and we can see the comments on the right. If you guys ask them right now, we'll immediately answer them. Now I want to introduce the Hall of Famer, the smoothest big man that ever came out of the NFL. We had him on the show maybe 3 weeks ago, but he wasn't done talking. He was not done talking. I want to introduce y'all to Mr. Doug Hollie from the Yay area. What's up, Doug? How you doing?
You know, everything is lovely. You know, life is good. I can't complain.
Right.
I'm actually down here at a wedding that's going on down here in San Diego. But I'm not originally from the Bay Area. I'm originally from Detroit. I'm a licensed criminal psychologist. I am writing a book called My Journey.
There you go. That's good.
You
need some help with it. I got two ladies right here. They ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I got a question for you, man. How does it feel to be the smoothest NFL player? Well, I don't want to say the smoothest, the big man smooth award. You have the big man smooth award because you're a lineman. So I already know I was the small man in the NFL, the smoothest, but you were the big man smoothest. How does it feel to be the smoothest man that come out the NFL as a big man?
Hey, I don't know. I appreciate that, but you know, I can't speak. Put it like this: where I come from, this is who we are. From Detroit, it's just a culture that I grew up in, being around my uncles and entertainers. So that's just the makeup I caught on, and it just carry on to my kids as well.
Right, I understand, because I'm saying that because you guys just don't know. When I'm with this man, I see him pretty often, you know, through the NFL. He was the NFL president too of this chapter in the Bay Area, and every time I see him, he's just dressed to a T. It's like this man has all the shoes, all the alligator shoes, all dressed up. So look at what he got on. I'm talking about he's at a wedding right now, but this is how he always dresses, you know? He always dresses like this. I'm like, man, I'm in like shorts and some sandals, and this dude's always dressed up. I'm like, whoa, man, what's up? You still living on that NFL money?
That's what my grandfather and my great grandfather did, and you know, I guess it was a culture, you know, coming from the South. Me coming from the South, and hard workers in the car industry, and you know, that's just how they dressed up.
Right.
You know, I seen clips of them when Detroit, they called the Black Bottom, of how they just party, and even, you know, during the Motown era, and how things were. Talking to my uncle, was one of the original Four Tops Obi, and told me always be present and always dress. I never wore a pair of jeans until I got till my senior year in college.
Wow.
So it was always slacks, shirts, sports coats. That was it.
Right.
Even back then, we had called glass heels.
And see, that's what I'm talking about. And then you from Detroit too, man. I mean, that's where all the music comes from, you know?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Actually, I'm doing a golf tournament for the Spinners next year for autistic, raising money for the autistics in Detroit as well.
Okay, well, let's go ahead. Let's move on, man. Hey, we want to welcome you to the show again. I know it's been a lot of things you forgot to talk about. You forgot to mention last time you was on the show, and I said I gotta bring him back. And I wanted to start the show off with you again. So we have a media question from Jacqueline Owens. I believe they're in Las Vegas right now. She lives in San Diego, but they're in Vegas for a vacation. I don't know, a girl's getaway. I saw them on the plane earlier. She posted. So her question is, would you marry you? Would you marry you? Would you marry you?
Good question.
Yeah, once I remove the junk.
There you go. And we have a lot of that. Yeah, exactly.
I gotta clear me up first.
Right. But
You
why
gotta,
my thing?
you gotta self check first,
But
and then you gotta love yourself first.
hey, but why
You
is
gotta
that
clean
though?
yourself. You gotta love yourself before somebody else can love you.
Right. But I think I don't know. I don't agree with that. I think that's a like a cop out because I feel that for real because we need to build ourselves together. You know what I'm saying? Because we can, me and use excuse all day saying, well, I'm not right. My job is not right yet. I'm not driving a nicer car to ask a woman to marry me. I'm not doing this. We make a lot of excuses. But the thing is, building together, when you find that perfect someone to build together, then that's when you start cleaning out your closet and you clean them out together. As I think as a couple you
Well,
clean them out because it's hard to do it by yourself because sometimes you think you're cleaning out the right things but you're not cleaning out the right things. Sometimes those troubles you think you have are not really troubles that they think is a big issue because
so
we're the
I
hardest critics.
so
One more
so
thing, we're the hardest critics on ourselves. You're right, we're the hardest critics on ourselves. So go ahead.
well. Let me ask you this, because it's like it's two questions that you asking in one. So if you married to someone, then yes, you work together for the common good, right?
Yes.
You come as one together as a team, you evenly yoked. Now, but if you by yourself and looking to get married, then you got to deal with your own self first before you can ask that person for the hand of marriage. And that's something that I share with my sons all the time. Don't ask that woman for a hand in marriage if you ain't got yourself together,
I
because you
agree.
taking her out of her comfort zone, that the nest that was built for her father or her uncle or grandparents, whoever, that she's comfortable in. If you can't continue with that comfort that she used to, leave her in that nest.
I agree.
Right. All
I
right.
agree. I
Okay.
agree.
Kevin Mitchell says, you remember Kevin Mitchell? He should have been in San Francisco when you were there. He was Batman. He played with the
Yeah.
Giants. Yeah. He just said, I'm not going to bring that problem into a relationship. I'm gonna clean myself up first. He would clean himself
Right.
up first.
Right.
But you know what? Like I said, I just don't agree with that because no matter what, we're gonna have problems. We're gonna have issues. You know what I'm saying? We're the hardest critics on ourselves, right? So, like I said, if I got with Toy, she may not think my issues are that big, or her issues are bigger than mine. So we got to get together and clean our issues up together because there could never be a time. There may be a time we never think ourselves is good enough. Like I said, when some men they want to buy a house, I can't get married because I need a house. I can't get married because I need to. You know what? The best thing that can ever happen to a man is to have a baby and to raise his baby because that baby usually settles that man down. You know what I'm saying? That
That's
baby
not true. That's not
kids,
true.
ooh, hey,
That's not
kids
true.
too.
That's
My
not
kids to
true.
make hey, my
A
kids to
baby,
made me
a
a punk.
baby, a baby, a baby don't resolve the problem of the individual.
Man. Well, if
I,
if
I
you
would
love
be.
that, if you
How,
love that baby, it
how
does.
can you how can you get in a relationship with a person that she got issues dealing with the guy that she used to deal with and bringing in the relationship with you? You got to clean that up with her, or she got to clean up with herself before she jump into another relationship, man.
That's
Come on.
true.
And
That's
it
true.
ain't about materialistic stuff. It's about
What
being real.
what
Because
what what
if you're gonna be with that individual, if you're gonna be with that individual, you got to clean yourself and she got to clean herself up as well. That's just the bottom line. I don't care
okay.
how you look at it, how you cross it, because if she coming in with junk that she haven't cleared up from the last relationship, and you got a relationship, you come in with junk, it's a whole damn mess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
so it
mean,
ain't about it ain't about materialistic. You can get a home together. You
but
get
when is it
all the
all
materialistic, you can build that together. But if you
but
ain't got yourself together, then it's irrelevant. Next thing that you in divorce court.
you're right. You're
I'm
right.
just
I
saying.
mean, well, I was kind of basically saying after you like marry or get together, you know, you marry because what I mean, this is what made me softer than anything in a relationship. After I had kids, bruh, when I had kids, they was my life. They were my life. I always wanted to be right when I had kids, you know. I didn't want to go out loud. You can call me back in the days, you call me a name like a nigga, you get knocked out. But with my kids with me, I'm like, you know what? Okay, now I got to think. I got to think about what I'm doing. So I'm kind of talking about after you get married and have a kid, or you know.
Okay,
So
well, okay.
I kind of
Okay,
mixed,
well,
you know.
well, I can understand that. That's what you should have started with from the jump.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay, you
I
should
jumped.
came out the gate with that, man, because you opened up some things that you know. Okay, you leaving audience stand stranded, man. Come on.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I jumped.
Yeah,
From here to way over here.
yeah.
So I did. So Linda's shaking her head. What you got to say, Linda? Go ahead.
Yeah,
Straighten
I'm
me
in
out.
agreement. You just kind of like jump ship.
I did. I
First
jumped.
question was, would you marry you?
Yeah,
And
come on, man.
I'm all over
so
the
I
place.
heard what Doug said about, you know, some things he would want to do. But would I marry myself? Absolutely. And without a doubt. And it goes back to something that Doug said. And that is, you know, like getting material things is one thing. But when it comes to how you enter a relationship, you have to really consider, am I bringing a lot of baggage with me? Because baggage will destroy a relationship. So one of the best things we can all do for ourselves, I tell anyone, if you're still single now at this point in time, then you know what? Thank God, because now you have an opportunity to work on yourself. And we're talking about these internal personal needs. We need to fix ourselves. It makes no sense to bring addictions into a relationship, whatever they are, whether it be gambling, drugs, alcohol, you know, undealt with trauma in your life that you got PTSD, and the moment someone says something, there's a trigger. No, we need to work on ourselves before we go into a relationship. So yes. And then then the other thing too, I think we all have dreams and aspirations, you know, about what we want to be in life and where we want to go when it comes to, you know, houses, cars, and everything. And even in that, every individual should have some personal dreams and goals that they are aspiring to, because otherwise you have to ask yourself, am I marrying a liability or an asset? And is that what's coming into my life, a liability or an asset? Which, you know, is that what I am? Can I be an asset to the man that's going to be in my life? Or am I going to be a liability where I drain him dry? So those are things we do need to be aware of, and we need to learn how to be self-sufficient individual. Now, in terms of the growth, of course, we're always evolving. We will be evolving until the day we die. We are evolutionary creatures. And I hope you can evolve to become your best self. You know, you keep getting better as you evolve. Some people don't grow that well. I know some 50 and 60-year-olds who have not evolved very well, you know, number wise, yes. But when it comes to, you know, maturation and, you know, their psychological abilities, you know, people are kind of sad sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to hear. Okay, let me hear from Toy. What you think, Toy?
Oh, I would absolutely marry myself.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely,
Without a doubt.
100.
Right.
And you know why? Is
Said that with
because
that chest sticking out.
I know.
you know what? It's because I'm confident about me. You know, like what you guys have all said. You know, you do have to work on yourself first. And you know, Steve, as you were saying, you know, we still have to work together with our mate to make things right for each other. But I mean, I think first and foremost, you have to be confident and comfortable with yourself on who you are and what you're about, and still work on the things that need to be worked on. But I mean, I'm a person who has a lot of love to give. I love hard, and I want to be loved hard unconditionally. And I think I'm a very nice person. I'm a cool person. I'm easy to get along with. So, of course, who wouldn't want to marry me? No.
Exactly.
I mean, but I think it all has to start from yourself. There are a lot of people with baggage and stuff like that, and they're looking for someone else to fix them. But you have to fix yourself first. And of course, when you're with a mate, then you work together to build the things that need to be fixed, you know.
Right.
let me share some with you guys. You know, I was married for 25 years, and I was dealing with my ex-wife. Not her father didn't spend time with her. Her first husband was married a year and a half. The second husband another year and a half. And so I'm dealing with all this tragedy, trying to, you know, figure out what's going on. And I, you know, I thought it was me. And I'm loving hard, doing everything I was supposed to do. But somewhere along the line, it was just too much, stressing me out. And I had to abandon ship. I put my time in, raised my kids up. So my question to the ladies is that you love yourself, but before you go into a relationship, coming from a previous marriage, would you jump in the ship right away, or you clean your house up first before you go into another relationship?
Okay. I think anyone, male or female, when you come out of a relationship, especially a long-term relationship, now I'm one of those people. 1 year at a month at a minimum, but you need at least 1 to 2 years by yourself for that purpose, because you have to do your best. Like some people come out of a relationship and all they see are the issues or the mistakes of their ex. But you know, no relationship breaks because of one person. There's something that we can all do and grow better. So if you had trust issue in the previous relationship, for instance, and you don't take time to work on that and heal that part of you that's not able to trust, guess what? You go into a relationship nagging a person to death because you got trust issue. If you're still dealing with abandonment and rejection, guess what? You go into the relationship with the same thing. You're doing and behaving in ways that says, I'm afraid to be alone. I'm afraid you're going to leave me. So that further adds problem to the relationship, because now you got the control factors that becomes a part with someone trying to control every aspect of another person's life. So definitely, as a female, whoever, but yes, you should take time out to make sure you're healed. I told people you need to heal yourself. You need to take time to heal before you and bounce off to another relationship. And oftentimes folk are just relationship hopping. You know, hop in this one. And you know something else too, Doug? Until you heal that part of yourself that broken, you will continue to make choices out of that. So this is why we get into those patterns and people feel like I keep marrying the same person over and over again. You know, we make decisions or choices based on where we are, you know, until you can change the lens by which you see the world, you be yourself and other people, you will continue in the same situation with the same problems.
I agree with Linda, and I'd like to add that I think you can't put a time on something because every person has to deal with it in their own time,
Right.
you know. And then I think too with age, because with age you would hope comes maturity. And so a lot of things that we dealt with or learned from our past relationships, our past mistakes, you hope that you have learned a lesson to grow from it and to be able to fix it before it's broke, you know. So maybe you may not need that much time, or maybe depends on how much time you're in a relationship, you may need a whole lot more, you know. So I just think it's all an individual thing for each person on their maturity level and what they exactly want in their relationship, because you know the older we get, we're not going to put up with as much craziness as we would have back in our day. So we may see someone today and say, you know what, let's try it, because it's more years behind us than it is ahead of us.
This what
Yeah.
this what a bishop told me one time. Asked me. He said he said the women that you associate with from your younger days, um, were those the women that God sent you, or was you just lusting? And I had to
Good
think about it.
question.
I had to think about it, and I had to repent and go back and ask each one of the young ladies that I associate with for my forgiveness, because that wasn't the woman God sent for me. It was another man's woman that I was encountered with, and so can a person be transparent and still have a love relationship?
Well, I think
you had
that's
to go. You had to go through that to learn that, though. So
yeah, but I think one of the big things that's missing from relationship when they come together is the fact that people don't feel they can be transparent. Like, you shouldn't go into a relationship surprised about all these other elements of a person. But when there's transparency, what I'm saying then is that, you know what? No, I'm not perfect, but I'm enough. And I am mature enough to be open and to work on myself even further because we're constantly evolving. What I am saying in that is that, you know what? I have nothing to hide.
Right.
But a lot of people don't see that we should go into a relationship only being transparent, but that seems like the abnormal thing to do. And it's more normal to go in hiding part of who you are and things going on in your life.
Yeah, there we go.
I have a question.
There we go.
So, why is it so hard for a man to show that he's really interested in a woman? And why does he wait for her to show interest? Do men not like women? Do men want women to like beg for them, or why is it so hard for a man to just show you that he really interested in you? Not even, really on a level of settling down, but just hanging out and interested in you. They seem like men wait for the women to come and chase after them. What's up with that?
Well, I'm gonna help you out on that one. First of all, I don't need a woman cooking for me because I'd be the other way around. I flip it, and and how you can, I probably can't get rid of you because I cook so good.
Love a man who cooks. What's for dinner? I'm on my way.
How I was raised is that the man always approached a woman in a professional, nice way, and always go after the woman. It's not first that the woman come after the man. I don't know. I learned that in coming to California, that the women are more aggressive chasing the men instead of men chasing the women, and then it make the brothers lazy.
Okay.
For me, I like a strong woman. I like a woman that's strong and then she can hold on. That's wonderful. Because I like to chase. It's the thrill, no matter who you are.
Vanilla. Yep.
Right. It don't matter who you are. It's just strong woman, it excites me.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, the things that they throw out there think is going to push you away, but it's attracting. It's like a magnet. You do negative things, but you do it. I feel that you tested me, and but it's pulling me closer to you because I'm not going nowhere. Just to let you know, I'm in it to the end. If I'm into you.
And you in San Diego right now, right?
Give us an example of that, Doug.
How you want it?
What can a woman do that's negative that's gonna pull you in? We want to know.
Well, she may say something. I don't think this is gonna work out of the blue. We on different ships. We cruise in different directions. And my thing is really, well, what direction you going? Because I may be going that direction too.
Yes, Lord.
What way are you blowing? Let me see if I could go that way.
Exactly. And sometimes our wind do blow that way. You know what?
Right.
We're flexible. We go either way it goes. That's what relationships is about. Bending and growing together and getting to know each other, because nothing's gonna be perfect. Nothing's gonna be perfect. So in a relationship, there's a give and there's a take. So sometimes you have to give and sometimes you have to take. That's what make relationships work. Because like my wife, boy, if I was my wife, I would have left my butt a long time ago, boy. I'm just saying. No, I don't know how she put up with me, boy.
The thing about professional athletes, for instance, because how our mindset is, we like challenges, and we built that way. We like robot. We like a challenge. That's a thrill to us. I'm speaking of professional athletes, and we're very competitive. So if we can meet the challenge, and the challenge along the way grow into something more beautiful than they can imagine, there it is. But we always like a challenge.
True.
At least I know a real brother do. I don't
Exactly. Exactly. And that's how we live.
That's how we live. I heard one guy say that the reason why some guys don't go after the women is because they're afraid of being accused of sexual harassment. So therefore, some guys will wait for the woman to approach them in a more aggressive way so that they're not taken the wrong way. What do you guys think about that? You guys had to deal with that?
Well, first of all, where sex come into part?
Right.
If that's what you're trying to catch, then you're not looking for a lady. You're looking for something else. But if you looking for that lady, then everything is timing. It's like how you marinate a steak.
Exactly.
You put it on the grill, and you pull it up when it's just right.
What time is dinner, Doug?
Hey, I told you, Doug is the smoothest man in the NFL. The smoothest. Go ahead, Linda.
You can't rush it now.
That's Seattle Seahawks best.
My comment on that, because I've heard it expressed more than one way, and of course there's always more than one reason or factor as to why people do things, and we know that it just depends who they are and what they're looking for. Okay. And one of the things that I have noticed about relationship dating is so watered down nowadays, and in a lot of cases, Toy, you're right. Men do not want to go the extra mile. The old school that Doug is talking about, the way he was raised, I am finding that nowadays it's not that way in many aspects in terms of the value we place on relationships.
The microwave brothers.
Yeah, totally microwave. And yes, and most of them are looking for a pickup, what she can do for me. And I think that women have to really look at themselves because of that. Because what we have now is that, women tend to want to do the most to show their love instead of waiting for a guy to express his love for her. So of course, there's no chase in that. And if this is how a large majority of women are behaving, we already have men outnumbered 8 to 10, some 7 to 1. It just 7 to 1. It just depends where geographical location you're in. But if he doesn't have to do the work because of a lack of standards, then I think a lot of them are in this very apathetic approach to relationships anymore because, women are knocking at the door. They're doing the chasing nowadays. And I think that's one thing that has definitely impacted the whole dating scene and men doing the chasing because they don't have to chase anymore. They don't have to chase.
But Linda, on that note, do you think that women are chasing the men because they keep saying that there's not a lot of good men around? And guys, how do you weigh in on that too?
Well, I think in a sense, one of the things I wrote in my blog that I haven't published yet was because someone told me to make it a book instead. But I talked about why men don't commit. And one of the first reason I put in there was called accessibility. And now we have access not just to the person in your neighborhood anymore, but you have access to a person around the globe now. And yes, and then one of the reasons one of the things I talked about in there that how deprivation leads to desperation. So you have a huge population of single females, some of them very accomplished females, a lot of them. But the one thing that's missing in their life is love. And because we've been deprived, there's been such a deprivation for so long of just having a solid man in their life. Yeah, I think some of them do go the extra mile to try to demonstrate that, hey, I'm the woman, I'm her. But yes, to answer your question, I think it has a lot to do with the toy.
Okay, I have something on that. So is that why women turn to women? Because there's a men shortage? Because there's a lot of that going around right now.
Well, that's a good question. I think this is what I think. I think that to be in a same-sex relationship it's becoming more and more normalized now.
It's always been there.
But it's becoming more normalized that you can go from a man to a woman or from a woman to a man, whoever you fall in love with. I think that attitude is becoming the norm of society now.
Okay,
and the person I would mention, for instance, was Niece Nash, who said that she's never dated another man. She never considered herself lesbian. She has 2 ex-husbands, and now she's in love with and married to a woman. So, in my field, people switch around. And I think it's because, it's becoming more normalized, more accepted to be in a same-sex relationship. And people love that, I've heard that expressed before. They couldn't find a man that would love them and treat them right. Here's someone who understands them. But yeah, so in some cases, that is a reason.
Yeah, it's commercial. It's so commercialized. You can't watch a commercial anymore without it on there. A movie, it's everywhere. I'm talking about it's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, speaking of it, what month is it? Is it right now?
But you know what, Stephen? I had my great uncle, Uncle Jim, love him dearly, and Uncle Jim, he said it like this. He said, look, he never had the desire for a woman. He said, but before he left the world, he died when he was 75, he gonna try and see what it's all about. I don't know if he ever tried it or not, but all my life I knew he dated, that's what he had. He had a partner. But to answer Troy's question, answer Troy's question about what was your question again, Troy?
The part
clicked off.
Yeah, my signal was getting bad. Is it true that some men don't want to really talk to women or be aggressive to her because he fears that she's going to accuse him of sexual harassment, and not even to the point of sexing her, but some guys just say they try to talk to a woman and they try to talk to her quite a bit, and I guess if she's not interested, she wants to accuse them of sexual harassment, so they back away from even wanting to talk to the woman.
Well, you got two things going on here. You got one lady can mislead him to another direction. She misled him. Mm-hmm. Two, that if my thing is, if you could have somewhere along the way, you'll know within a month if you're compatible, and someone didn't break it off, or it can be baggage that came into this relationship, or even not a relationship, and whatever happened in their past relationship or his relationship, they feel that's what's going on. So it's a multitude of events that can occur to get to that point for a person to think that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kind of switch the subject a little bit because we do have a few questions. One I saw on, I'm not sure which one I received first, but Jacqueline had asked, if you're dating someone, how long should it take before you meet the children from a previous marriage or relationship?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait 6 months. Because I don't know if you're going to be all right. I don't know. I ain't trying to meet the crew right now. I got to know the mama or the daddy first.
You know, I believe too that, you know, I used to get this question a lot when, you know, in family court. That question comes up a lot, and sometimes people are back in court again because they don't want the children to meet anyone new or what have you. But you know, one of the things that in a class that I taught is that when you go to a new relationship, you know, we have to think about more than ourselves. We have to consider the readiness of our children. So that question may differ from one person to the next in terms of how long, you know, because we know you can't just introduce your children to everybody you meet before you know where the relationship is going. So I think the first level is for a parent to use their discretion and to ensure themselves that they're on a mutual place, that that person that you're talking about introducing into your children's life feels the same way as you, that they're here to stay. Okay. And you've had that discussion. And then secondly, you have to consider the readiness of your children. Sometimes children are not ready for step parents, and that can create havoc and chaos. So I think that kind of varies. I think people need to do their work on that and consider the fact that every time you bring a new person into a child's life and leave, they just suffered another loss. Every time that happens, they get used to a person, there's a loss because that person leaves. And then next thing you know, a few months later, if you're dating that close together, and going back to what I said earlier about the whole getting married, you know, yes, people are at different places in life, but I still say if you've been in a long-term relationship, you need to kind of figure out what you bringing from that, what kind of debris is on you from the last relationship. And it's just good to push the pause button. And if you have dependent children, you really need to push the pause button to figure out where you are, where your children are, that everyone has healed, they've gotten counseling or whatever is needed. Then you talk about going to something new. People in the new relationship before the door is closed to the old relationship, before healed wounds are healed. So we need to take time out for that. So I would say to you, you know, take your time, make sure your children are well, you're well before you introduce new people into their life. And most importantly, make sure the person that you're bringing in is there to stay.
Right.
But now, but also on this too, if the man loves you, he will love your children.
We're true.
If he don't love you, there's no sense of bringing him around. You
right.
know,
Well, well, see, that's why I said, Doug, you have to make sure that you and that person is on the same page there.
That's right. That's
you
right.
know, you know, where your commitment is concerned and a blended family is concerned. Because, you know, you're not just marrying a man for a husband, you're talking about a parent for your child that's going to be a part of their life. So, yes, you need to do your homework first.
And also depends on the relationship the child or children may have with their ex-parents, stepfather, who their original biological father is or biological mother is. What is their relationship? And how do you fit in the form? How do the picture?
Exactly. That's why we need to know the readiness of the children. Are children ready for new people to come into their life if their parents are involved?
Okay. Hey,
got another question on the
no,
chat?
I was going to move on. Go ahead.
Yeah, we have another one. Okay, so the other question I have, you want me to ask the questions from?
Let me ask. Doug just clicked off. He's gonna click back on because we need it because he's the guest, so we need him to hear the question. Here he comes, right here. Here he comes. Wait a minute. Let me click him back on.
Okay.
Here he's back on. Hey, okay. Let me ask this to Doug first. Doug, last time you were on, there were a few questions you wanted to ask and things you wanted to get off your chest. And the show, you know, we had to end the show. So do you want to bring those up? I can't remember what they were.
I already said it, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
I said it, you know, one thing I wanted to, you know, I said that, you know, when I was sowing my oats and that way I was sowing them in the wrong direction, that I realized that these young ladies weren't meant for me. And I was with another guy's possible wife. So, and I, you know, women that I associate with, I went around and reached out to them and asked for their apologies and explained to them why But it was one that I just wasn't ready to get married, and then I happened to reach out to her family, and she died. About 6 months before I reached out to her, she died of cancer. So that really that put it, really bothered me because I didn't get a chance to reach out to her. And we dated for a while, but I just wasn't getting ready to get married, and it just wasn't happening. So yeah, that's what I wanted to get off my chest. That you got to be transparent and look at who you are, because you got to look at yourself in the mirror every day.
Yeah.
Do you really care about that woman, or is she just a plaything?
Exactly.
Or you got Sally, you got Susie across the street, and Ella Mae around the corner. So you got all these emotions going on, and you think you're sitting pretty. But in actuality, you're hurting a lot of feelings.
Exactly.
We don't want to do that. Okay, go ahead, Linda. Linda has another question for us.
So here's another question. Why are so many 40 and over men holding out for that woman who is 10 to 15 years younger and deciding to marry her instead of a woman his age range? Don't hold back. Tell me your perspective and thoughts.
Well, I would say this. He's an old fool. That's number one. Because you dating somebody your daughter age, for number one, let's just be real.
Actually, yeah. Okay. They're a little bit older.
Yeah, stick with your. Maybe they trying to live back their life. How it used to be, and what they may have had a head full of hair. Who knows? But there's nothing. And I used to tell her, I had young girls come up to me, and I just tell her, "Ain't nothing you can do for me, that I haven't done already, and I'm not trying to teach you nothing. If you don't know it by now, school is not open. It's been closed. So get with somebody your age. That's just me. That's just how I approach it. But they got issues, that guys 40s and 50s, they just got issues. They're trying to rekindle something that they probably miss in that beginning of time, and think a young girl can do it for them.
Man, yeah, you think about the age. Think about some of these age differences, man. Let's just say we 50, and you going out with a 30-year-old, a 25-year-old, bruh. When you turn 80, you know what? When you turn 80, she just right. You know what I'm saying? She just right. 45. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
50.
She just getting in her prime.
Come on, man.
You going towards the grave.
What you gonna do for her? What can you do for her?
None.
Come on, man.
You can't even use Viagra.
You can't, because that don't even work. That don't even work. Come on, man. Right. It's just I don't see that. I see a lot of that with rich people. Not saying we ain't rich. I'm saying the multi-billionaires. They always marrying somebody way younger, and I always thought about them like, what's going
Stephen,
on?
It's a showcase to your trophy.
A trophy. There you go.
Okay, that's all it is. A trophy. I'm trying to drag around your guys and look what I got me a young tender. You ain't doing nothing. She's just laying there like, okay, give me the money, what I need, and that's it.
I call that common values. He want a pretty young thing, and she want his money. So they become equally yoked in that moment right there.
Let's call it. She got her sugar daddy. How about that?
She got the money and he got the honey. So what? It's a trade-off.
Well, I don't know about much. I don't know about much for honey if you got a 30-year-old and you 50.
Right.
Well, sometimes they just want to look at her.
Look, give me somebody my age and I can look at it the right way. Okay.
I know I've heard some of the older.
You've heard what?
I've heard some of the older guys just want to start all new things again because they feel like they didn't do it right the first time. That's what I've heard some of them.
No, that's what I just said.
And then for women,
they rekindle what they didn't do in their 20s and 30s. Yeah. Well, you can do that with somebody your age. What if you didn't do in the 20s and 30s? You got a woman your age.
End up being equal their age. but for women, when women look for younger men, it's because most of the men that's our age, when we get our age, they lazy. They don't want to do nothing. So we want to go out and have fun. We full of energy.
But y'all run into the wrong man. That's the problem.
Oh, because I'm gonna say this. I don't know. I just see this whole thing differently than that. I think that we make relationship choices based on where we are. And, our choices are reflections of the substance that's within us. And if you're still playing, then you probably want someone you can play with. So there's no general or blanket reason for male or females in these situations. It just depends where you are. If you're still in the playing, you want someone who plays. Right. And if you're serious, you're probably looking for someone serious to be in a relationship with. So it all boils down to knowing your own motivation. But whatever your relationship choices are, you are motivated by something internally as to why you're choosing that type of person or that person in your life. Or you're running behind, a particular person.
Or it could be your self-esteem.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It just depends what's going on within a person that they make those choices. And most of the time, the flesh is very temporal. In all of its choices, it's pleasure first, and once the pleasure is gone, we can't stand the other stuff, so we take off and we run to the next pleasure spot. Mm-hmm. So, it just doesn't always work.
What's the next question?
Okay. All righty. So the next one, there's one here that says, this is an interesting question here. Okay. When you're truly in love with your spouse, when does your love start going away? I'm reading it the way it says this. When you're truly in love with your spouse, when does your love start to go away?
I believe when you start growing apart. I mean, your love never, well, it does go away. When you start growing apart, when you stop doing the same things. You just said something a little while ago that sparked me. I'm an exciting person, and I just love doing exciting things. I love doing fun things. But then when you get with somebody who don't want to do anything, they're getting old. Me, I'm 57. I don't see myself as old. I still see myself as young, not young in age, but my heart and my mind is young. I'm ready to go. Let's go. Let's do these fun things. I can't have somebody just sitting around not wanting to do anything. So,
well, Stephen, I believe what's going on here is that they seem like the person is married and she's falling out of love. I would say you got to find things to rekindle the love. What made you fall in love with the individual? What happened along the way, and where the love was lost? So whatever the love was when you fell in love, revisit that and retrack it to bring back where it may fell out, where it had may fell out. I mean, it fell out of love. But as you said, Stephen, you got to be creative.
Creative. Keep it new and fresh.
I heard a elder couple. She said to her husband, she said this is the most beautiful thing I said. She said, we've been together 50 years, and I don't mind being with you 50 more years. Mm-hmm. And so when I talked to him, he said it's more than humping and dumping in the bedroom all the time. It's the little things, knowing her, knowing or doing something special, or catching her off surprise. That make her smile. If you can keep a woman smiling, then you do your job. But I would say go back to rekindle. What was it that you fell in love with about that individual?
Any comments, Toy? No, I don't know if she can hear us.
Yeah, she can hear. She's on mute.
I kind of agree with. I can hear you. Yeah,
Did you have comments on that question?
I agree with some of that. what you're saying, Doug, too, because I think a lot of times couples start doing things separately instead of together, and you start really losing each other in that sense. I think couples should not do everything together, but at least do things together as a couple to keep the love alive. And when you start doing things more separately than together, then it's not gonna be able to rekindle anything if it keeps going that direction.
So you saying have a date night? Set a date night every week. Is that what you're saying?
Sure, for sure. Plenty
Yeah.
of them. Yeah,
Yeah,
plenty of
absolutely.
them. Yeah,
Mhm.
always
Never
keep
stop
dating.
dating. Never stop dating.
Okay, I get
You
it.
want to
I
keep
get
their
it. You
attention.
look, I ain't asked the question. I get it.
Yeah, and I think too, when she say when you truly love someone, when does the love start to go away? It's you may have like this love that we have, the agape kind of love, but then the erotic love that husband and wives are supposed to have toward one another, that fire, that starts to dwindle when
Said
the
erotic love. Whew.
yeah, erotic,
Oh,
that's
shit, no.
yeah, you have, that starts to dwindle away. And in most cases, I've heard people say, I love my spouse, my husband, or my wife, but I'm not in love with them anymore. That's the piece that they're talking about that's missing. Like when it comes to just a love for a person and caring about them, we can have that, but then we lose that fire, the eroticism in the relationship. And this starts to dwindle away when there's a disconnect start to form in the relationship. Disconnect could happen when we stop talking to one another. Don't take time out for pillow talk at night. Don't take time to share your innermost secrets and your heart to be vulnerable before one another, and just touch, just embracing. You shouldn't walk. There shouldn't be a day that goes by that you walk right by your spouse and y'all just see each other in passing, and nobody take time out to look at you, look eye to eye to say, hey, how was your day? I love you. That right there keeps it going. Doing something unexpected. Whoever gets home first, stroll a few rose petals along the way or something. You have to be involved. You have to eroticism. Erotic means you
Said rose petal. You talking about rose petals from the tub to the bedroom?
somewhere in there, baby. Just you
You
got to
talking about
do
little
things.
candle in the bedroom?
You
in the
have
bathroom?
you have
Yeah.
to do things. Love and eroticism does not exist on its own. It's because it's there because we have to do something. You do something to make it there, and then you don't become roommates.
Right, exactly. And the main thing is we spoke on it earlier, not in this show, but earlier in the year, is knowing your partner's love language. Once you know your partner's love language, hey, then you can go a long way knowing that language.
You got to
Like
keep
mine,
spice in it, okay?
you got to keep spicing.
If you don't want to be roommates, you got to put spice, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
And you have to make it. You have to put forth the effort. Sometimes I think we take one another for granted, and we forget to go the extra mile to show that person that, my love for you is deeper than my love for anything else in this world. Because we're like that. We're connected that way. So you have to do that. Otherwise, it goes away.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, preach. I'm taking notes.
Okay, so
Toy. I need to know, what is your love language? Mine is touch. I have to be touched. I mean, you touched me and it's over. It's over. That's why I don't let anybody touch me other than my wife, because you touch me, I'm like, oh no, you got to get your hands off me, because that's my language right there. That I get weak when you touch me. So what's your love language?
Who are you asking?
Toy, you're on mute again. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
You can't hear you.
Well, let me help you out. My love language. If you rub my head and ears, I'm done. I'm falling asleep. It's a wrap.
For real, man. For real, man.
You rub
For
my
real.
ears and head. Oh, I'm done. I can't even talk. I'll be like, oh, you ain't playing fair.
All right. So your lady need to know that's your kryptonite.
Oh man, I'm falling
man.
out. Let's get the rubbing touching my head. Oh, come on, stop it. Stop playing.
Stop playing. You play too
Oh my
much.
goodness, Stephen, it's 11, and I didn't get to the last two questions. I didn't get to.
So you want to keep going? Just get these
Yeah,
questions
get the
in?
questions.
Okay.
get
So
these
the next
questions
one
in.
says, to move along.
Well, let's try.
said-
Wait. Let's try to get Toy back. Toy,
we can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear us. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you. Are you back in the?
She can hear us, but we can't hear her.
We can't hear you. No sound.
Won't you hang up? You might. Won't you hang up and call right back and see if we can get you?
Okay. So the next question, it is said a man stays with a woman when she is his piece. My question is, who or what is her piece while she is maintaining his?
Now I wouldn't even listen to that question. I'm trying to click Toy back in.
Okay.
Okay, ask it again.
Okay, so the question was, it is said a man stays with a woman when she is his piece. My question is, who or what is her piece while she is maintaining his?
Well, first of all, you know, if y'all ain't married, what you stand together for? Let's start with that. Because you are a piece, because you just stand with him. You're not entitled to anything.
Yeah.
So therefore, as long as you're a piece, that's all you're gonna be is a piece. You know, you gotta have some self-respect about who you are.
Oh no,
I'm
the
just
piece
saying.
the question is peace, PEACE, your peace of mind.
Oh, a peace of mind. Okay, clear it up now.
Peace. Yeah. When a woman, and you know what? I think that it's a great responsibility for someone else to be responsible for your peace or your happiness, because each person, every individual is responsible for their own peace and happiness. It's peace and happiness you bring into the relationship. Now, if you're in a relationship that's robbing you of your peace and happiness, like you said, Doug, why are you in it?
In the first place.
Yeah,
exactly.
You gotta let it go.
Yeah.
You can't buy peace, man.
Mm-hmm.
A peace of mind is more precious than gold.
Right. I believe only you can give yourself peace. No one else can really give you peace. You have to be in peace with yourself, your body, your mind, and God. Mm-hmm. Those are the only. I try to teach my kids every day, and I bother them. I bother my kids, and they get frustrated with me. And I always look at them and tell them, I've always taught you from day one, never let no one that make you mad. Never let someone control you. I'm gonna mess with you. I'm gonna continue to mess with you until I teach you. You can't let daddy get on your nerves. Only you can get on your own nerves. You know what I'm saying? You got to focus that up. Go ahead.
To answer that question now, if you want peace, what's keeping you from leaving that situation? Is it financially, or you working for it? I mean, what's stopping you from getting your own peace or leaving the situation?
Exactly.
Sometimes it's
because it sounds to me it's toxic.
It is. It's just what is it? What I want to say? It's people. Most people don't want to start over. You know, they're comfortable. They're not happy, but they're comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Some people, whether it be
afraid.
Yeah, they're afraid. Yeah.
Stuck.
Yes.
You're stuck.
Yes.
She's saying you're stuck. She's saying
you're saying they're stuck. Oh,
go ahead and ask that question again so Toy can hear it.
So, Toy, the question was, it is said a man stays with a woman when she is his peace. My question is, who or what is her peace while she is maintaining his peace?
That he stays with her?
Read it again.
She stays, let me see if I can break some of the words down. A woman stays with a man No, I'm sorry. A man stays with a woman because she is his peace.
Okay.
With that thought in mind, if she's maintaining his peace, the question is, what is her peace while she's doing so? Who or what is her peace?
Let me answer that in a minute. I understood it now. I didn't understand it before. Let's just say my wife is my peace. Oh man, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, okay. No, I'm her peace. Toy, I'm your peace.
Okay, no, she's supposed to be your peace. You know, you stay with her because she's your peace.
No, I get that. I get that now. I get that now. So I'm gonna just switch it around and say, let's just say me and Toy are together, and she's my wife, and I'm her peace. I'm her peace. So I'm looking for who's my peace.
Yes,
in my heart, my heart, right now, I am my own peace because my peace is making Toy happy. That's what for real, that's what I was brought on earth for, is to make people happy. And if I make my wife happy, that's my peace right there. That's my peace. So I don't look for anybody else to give me peace. I have my own peace through helping her or helping others. That's me.
Right.
Doug, where are you at, Doug?
Yeah.
Looks like he dropped off.
Yeah, he dropped off.
Doug left the room.
Yeah, he'll be back on.
I think women will stay longer. I think women will stay longer because we have more patience than men. And so I think women a lot of times will give up a sense of their peace because, you know, they want to try to work out the relationship as they best can. But when she's had enough, she's had enough.
Yeah. Who says that? R. Kelly said it best. When a woman's fed up, there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. You know. Yeah. You guys are more patient. Women are more patient than anybody.
Yeah, most women will give and will forgive, and you know, like you know, it's been said even plenty of times before. If a man has an affair or whatever and gets caught, the woman will forgive a few times maybe. And if he finds out she did it once, he's done, you know. Done. But a woman, we try to hang in there. We try to make it work no matter what. We try to give excuses on the problems, you know, whereas men, they don't have the patience like we do, and they're just like, bye, we out of here. We're going to go find somebody else. So it's sad, but a lot of times it's true.
Yeah, that is, that's a sad thing. That's a sad thing. So what do you want to do, Linda?
So the last big question we have, and then we can end it at this one then. What is it, 11:08? What's the difference between love, infatuation, and lust?
First of all, Mike.
Mike said, do not quote R. Kelly.
Mike Martin, that's my dude right there. That's a Cincinnati's Bingo Hall of Famer.
Whatever you do, he's saying, do not quote R.
Hey, Mike, when you gonna come back on the show, Mike? Come on, man. When you gonna come back on the show? I beg you. Everybody, first of all, everybody loves Mike. Cincinnati Bengals greatest NFL leading punt returner, and all that. He had all the accolades. Matter of fact, he went to my college, and he was there before me, so he's a great dude. You got to come back on the show, Mike. He is funny. Do not quote R. Kelly, man. That's funny. Okay, go ahead with the next question.
That was it.
What's the difference? We got to answer that one. You got to answer that one. Yeah.
I forgot the question. I got ADHD.
The question was, what's the difference? Let me repeat it. Let me repeat it.
Yeah, repeat it. I forgot the question already.
The question was, what's the difference between love, infatuation, and lust? Okay, Toy, you want to start out?
I'm gonna leave this for the ladies.
I think lust is like spontaneous. You see that person, you want them. Infatuation is you dream about them, but maybe you don't have the guts to go after them. And love means you're going to be in it whether they sick whether they not sick, whatever, you in it for the long haul. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm going with that.
That's all you.
I'm going with that, girl. I'm going. It's 11 something here. I'm
Okay.
sleepy.
So infatuation usually refers to something that we are attracted to one person toward the other, right? And lust refers to an intense desire for something. So when you can be infatuated with someone, maybe by their style, by the money they have, like, oh my God. In other words, it's almost like you're admiring someone. And then when it comes to lust is an intense desire to have something. If you lust over money, you lust over a person. So that thing that says lust is almost like an addiction. I got to have it. And when I don't get it, I'm fiending for it. But there's nothing deeper than that. And once you get it, just like a high, it's over with. You're going until you're ready for the next fix. That's lust. And a lot of times it's the sexual desires. We did it, we got that over with, and it's gone. There's no substance behind it. There's no how you're doing. There's no hanging around to, like we like to snuggle sometime afterwards. None of that. You do what you got to do, you leave. And infatuation, you're just infatuated with someone. But love is totally different than that. Love is more than an emotion. Love is a desire for care, for warmth, for kindness, to support, to have someone's back. It's different.
Right. Mike Martin says, love moves you. The others move other things.
I can, you know what? I think love moves other people. And I think that the other ones moves the individual who's craving the infatuation and the lust. That's the person who's moved by that. So I would reverse that. But because love moves other people, love is like a game of chess. There's a curiosity behind it. There's a wonderment. There's a feel. There's a threshold that that moves you. And if you've ever encountered love, you usually walk away like, wow, what was that? It's so powerful. It's almost fearful.
Hey, my question to both of you guys, is love fair? Is love fair? Is it fair? Because it's like, if I'm in love with you guys, it's like, I'm going crazy. All I want to do is be with you. But if you don't want to be with me, then is it fair? Because sometimes if I'm in love with you, there's like, I only want to be with you. I want to be with you. But
Steve, love is fair, because love is not some haphazard personality or being. She's strong, she's wise. She doesn't put herself in harm's way. I refer to love in the female personality because she has the ability to multiply. Okay, so I'm still talking about love. So love is wide. There's substance behind love. This other stuff that we call love, jealousy, infatuation, and lust, it has no substance to it. That's why it's so dangerous, and it ends up harming people. So love is fair, but sometimes you want to give that sort of love to someone who's not ready to reciprocate it. So it's not that love is not fair. It's just that, there's a scripture that says to cast not your pearls unto the swine, for they will only trample it under their feet. So if you just use love as a pearl, you can't cast it out before anything or anybody, because they don't know how to reciprocate. They don't even know how to receive it.
Right. So love is fair.
Yeah, it is fair. Yeah, because she knows what she's doing. She's wise.
I think it's fair if both people are on the same page.
Yeah.
If both people are on the same page, then it's fair, but it's not.
Well, see, love, don't mix love with the individual. Love is always fair. Now, the person may not be fair, may not treat you fairly. But love is perfect. Love is always fair. It's perfect.
Is love a man or a woman?
I told you, I refer to her as a female because she has the ability to multiply, to produce and replicate and keep multiplying and keep going.
Oh, sucky now. Oh, sucky now, girl.
So I refer to her as a female because she grows. You know, you can't put anything on her and not expand.
Right. I love loving
Steve,
men.
your earlier question for me is I'm a touchy-feely person, but conversation. If you can keep a conversation with me, you got me hook, line, and sinker.
There you go. See,
yeah.
there has to be some mental stimulation going on, right, Toy?
So that's your foreplay. That's foreplay for you right there.
Yeah, big time. Like I say, if you can touch my mind without touching my body, hey,
it's on and popping. It's on and popping.
There you go.
Mike says love is a combination. Oh, of course, love is a combination. Yes, it's a combination between it's a lot of things. Like you just said, you can love just the way a person moves. You can love a person's swag. Have you ever been in love with somebody? Like I watch my wife and I just be like, damn, just the way she moves. You know what I'm saying? Just the way she moves.
But see, you have to be in a state to appreciate the beauty of love.
Yeah.
And that's what I hear you saying, because, beauty is not wrapped up in nails and hair. It's good to keep yourselves up. I'm not saying we couldn't, but when you can roll over in the morning and you can see beauty in that, that's the essence of it right there. When you can see the beauty of a person, the beauty of life.
But what brings that on? What brings that on is the love for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness, my little man just come running in.
What's up, little man? What's up, little man? Just the love for yourself, because you can't love someone else if you can't love others if you don't love yourself.
Yeah. So my favorite book that I wrote is this one here, The Art of Manifesting Love. And this book here is really about how we manifest love in our lives. And it goes right back to that. Love is something that you should possess because it's not even a possession of love. I think the idea is for us to remember. No, go with your brother until I'm done. Okay, thank you. But but we become love. A lot of times we're looking for what we want, and we are love. We are love creatures. We were created to love. We don't love being. And anytime you're not behaving and living, if you're behaving and living inconsistent with love, you're not being who you were really called to be. That's why people get so distressed and jealousy and all this other stuff that goes on. You are a love creature.
Okay. I got a favor from you. I know we're over time, but you know what?
Yes, we do. It's 11:17.
I got a favor from you.
My time.
Because it's our time. I'm in New York.
That's right. You're on my time too.
I'm on your time too. I'm on your time. So I got a favor for you. I need you to pull that book back up. Pull that book back up and go to chapter 7. Pull that book back up. The love of what?
What did you say now?
What's the name of the book again?
Oh, The Art of Manifesting Love.
Okay, and go to chapter 7.
Okay. Okay, I went 6, and I went to 8. All right, what am I looking for in chapter 7? Oh, commitment to love. Is that the chapter you're speaking of?
Yeah, I just want you to read something out of there. Read something out of there, because I just want to hear something from that chapter. For me and Toy, we need to, every week I'm gonna ask you for something out of your book.
Okay.
Because
wow. So, gosh. In order to manifest love, you must first recognize your need for love and commitment to love. I probably, like you, have tried to convince myself that I didn't need love. So how can you commit to something you don't feel you need? And some people really believe they can coexist in relationship and not have love. I love you, but they don't need to feel it. They don't need to become it. There's no commitment to love. And so I go on to say that we speak of having the love of God is all we need. Let's face the music. Yes, we do need the love of God, which is divine love, but we also need the love of a parent, a family, or a spouse. We need that love. And because that's the love that we can touch, we can feel, we can embrace, we can comfort each other by it. God is spirit. So we need one another. We need arms that can hold us, hands that can touch us. And as you and Doug say, melt you to your knees by that touch,
Exactly.
we,
Don't
we
touch his
need,
ears.
we need that.
Don't touch his ears.
Yeah, we need that. But
That's
it goes on. I don't know if there's more to read. Oh, so I talked about erotic love. It's God's formula for procreation. It is his love for romance. And I need more light. And let me see, what else did I say here? And romance and erotic love is amazing, and I don't know why we try to hold it back, but it's amazing. It makes the world spin. It turns a gloomy day into sunshine. It enables us to overcome the most difficult challenges and losses of our life. Yet, to avoid the possible pain and disappointment associated with love, with erotic love, a lot of effort is expended to avoid opening your heart to love. In the absence of love, relationships lack trust, devotion, and commitment to love. In the absence of commitment to love, we risk falling prey to deviant behaviors that range from religious church going to sleeping with multiple partners and addictive behavior, such as gambling, shopping, alcohol, drugs, and you name it.
You
So
getting real deep.
so love is really important. We need love. And, for people who have shied away from it because they don't feel it's fair or they are afraid that they're going to get hurt, I mean, that's what love is for, is to give away. What are we going to do with it?
Yeah, I myself, I can't live without love.
Yeah.
I can't exist without love. If it wasn't for love, I mean, love is the only thing that keeps me going. The
Mm-hmm.
only thing that keeps me going, is love. That's why it frustrates me sometimes with people with bad attitudes,
Yeah.
or negative people. That gets to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, because you can either, believe, or you don't believe. But
Mm-hmm.
you have to believe, because if you don't believe, then you're useless to yourself and everyone else. So you got to believe and the more you believe, the more love you will receive, because people can see right through you. You know, you can't hide, or you can't fake love. You know what I'm saying? I can look
Mm-hmm.
at you and say, "Damn, she's love." You're about love. I
Yeah.
can look at all of you guys and say, you see, when you can, if you anywhere, you can look across the room and be like, they're not about that life. They're not
Yeah.
love. They're not positive people. And I try to shy away from those people. I stay away from those people. If you're not happy, and if you're not, I mean, we see fakeness. We see fake. And I tell some of my friends, yo, I see you trying to be happy, but you're not really happy. You have to work on that. You know what I'm saying? You have to
Mm-hmm.
work at that. You have to believe. You can't think you're gonna get in front of me and fake. You're not happy. I know you're not happy. Because we see right through that. You gotta know. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, for real, you gotta believe. You gotta believe in your heart and your mind that tomorrow is gonna be better. No matter
Mm-hmm.
what, it's gonna be better. No matter what happens to you today, you gotta always believe that the next minute, the next hour is gonna be better. And if you don't believe that, then you're not love. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's love. So I'm getting text from Doug right now. I was trying to get him back on. but I know he had to go because he was at a wedding. But each
Okay.
week we're gonna Linda, we're gonna have something from you from the book. So get a little, cause you know, get a little
Okay.
chapter out or what. And we're gonna toy when you come back on. I want something from your book, so you gotta be ready. You
Okay.
know, so we can talk
Okay.
about things from your book, so we can get it out there a little bit. So,
Okay.
thank you guys for coming on. You guys are my sheroes. You are my love. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
Look
you.
how bright you guys, both of you guys shining bright like a diamond. You know what I'm saying? So
Thank
thank
you.
you guys. And go ahead one more
Thank
time, introduce yourself before we click off, and so we can get out of here.
Okay.
I'm Toy
You know
Moore.
what?
Oh,
Go on.
Toy.
I'm Toy Moore, author. I have a website, Toymore, TOIMOORE.com. Books on love, romance, relationships, sex, all that good stuff. So yeah, check me out on
Sex?
my website. Sex, yes. I have erotic, like Linda's talking. I have some really hot, juicy, erotic ones. All my books are available on Amazon.com as well.
Yeah. We need to talk. We need to talk about it, love, more
Yeah.
because everyone is desiring it, and that's what people are missing. But no one is talking about it. We just
Hey,
need
in
to
this
have.
show we talk about everything. So
Yeah.
Linda.
Okay. Well, Linda Streeter.
No, Linda. We got to get Toy's chapter out of that book. We got to get. She has to come on and talk about one of her chapters also.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Take it to the floor, Linda.
Okay. Just to. Well, again, Linda Hart Streeter, and you can learn more about me at lindahartstreeter.com. My name.
All right. And as you know, Stephen Pierce, the Doctor of Love. We're going to thank y'all for coming out. And we know it was an hour and a half, but we had an hour and a half of love. So remember to tune in every Friday from 7 to 8 Pacific Standard Time. And we'll see you every Friday. We love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful weekend, wonderful, blessed weekend, and we'll see you.
Have a good night and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
All right. See you guys later.
All righty. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.